Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Well, it's time to do a job I've been putting off. So I'm in here digging up this big compost pile. I built this last fall and I just never got on it when it started to heat up this spring. So it's kind of a goopy, mucky mess in here. So my plan is to take kind of the darker, more decomposed stuff out of the middle and bottom. And I just am putting it in my wagon right now. And I'm going to take that over and put it in my regular compost bin and let it finish breaking down over there, and I can get a better pile built in this spot here. This is just old pallets and wood and that I've cobbled together to make a bin over here that can hold a little bit more. But so my wagon is full, so I'm going to go see what I can get into that other bin. It's empty right now, and keep emptying this out and filling it up. So while I'm transferring this pile here, I'll let you have a look at what I've done so far, and we'll start at the beginning. So hopefully you could see from that little bit of photos and video there that the bin was filled very close to the top, but when you open it up, the sides and the top weren't really decomposing or doing anything, and I've tried to stir it around that, but the middle was actually pretty thick and wet. I didn't realize how wet it was, and kind of partially decomposed. So it kind of past that peak time to really get it heated up. I missed that opportunity. So I'm just taking this out. We'll have a better look at it here so you can see what I'm pulling out. Just need a glove. So you can see here, it's not like perfect compost at this point. There's still a few clumpy bits of like leaves and that. There's still a few stems, though they're definitely softening up and breaking down. I see a carrot top trying to sprout in here. Lots of eggshells. Now, I don't really count eggshells as like looking for nutrients. I think of them more as like kind of like an aeration, even though they're thin. I think you get those little chunks in there. It just helps to allow more water drainage through your soil and that, and let more oxygen exchange. I don't even know if you can hear me over the birds today. They're out being happy. And there's the odd little bit of grass and that in here still that, you know, I didn't quite get out. But in the beginning there, I tried to scrape off kind of the topmost layer of like grass clippings and food waste and that was still sitting on there. I purposely hadn't covered it over with leaves because I knew I wanted to do this, but I just kind of been sticking it there to keep it out of my way in the house, in the yard. But today was the day I needed to get this done. So I'm gonna dump this last load into the other bin, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna try and get this built back together. And part of that will be probably cutting my grass if it doesn't rain to add another layer of green in there. But yeah, it feels good. This is a good workout, you know, digging around the compost. So if you're needing a good workout, needing some motivation to get some yard work done, maybe that's it. I'm gonna go dump this, and then we'll get this big pile put back together. I don't know if you can see all the little organisms crawling around in there, but that's a good thing for your compost. So I've got all the kind of stuff that I want to save that is just a little bit more on the decomposed side and won't work as well for starting a pile. It's, you know, halfway to being finished compost or better. I just stuck it all in here, but it's really, really wet. And like I said, it's not fully decomposed. So this may get smelly because I don't have it mixed in with browns and, you know, just helping take up some of that moisture and get the decomposition working in the right way. If I add leaves in here, it's probably not going to decompose them very well just because of the point it's at. It might, but it will take a really long time. So what I'm going to do is leave it for now. If it starts to get smelly, I'm just going to sprinkle either soil, but more than likely peat moss on top, because the peat moss will take some of the moisture out of this. I'll mix the peat moss in with that. And then once this is decomposed, the soil or the peat moss, whatever I use, will be fine to spread with the compost and actually be great, because you don't really want to use straight compost to plant in. And even if I'm using it for mulch, that'll still be a workable solution. So that's my plan for now. I'm just going to kind of do the wait and see on what happens with the smell level here. But I do suspect I'll wind up coming back and mixing in, like I said, probably peat moss. I have a bale of it, and it would work well for mixing in and being a nice fine texture to mix in with the compost to get a nice texture in the end. Let's go try and get that other pile built up a bit. All right, so now I need to deal with all the stuff that's still built up around the back and the sides there, and what I took off of the front and the top. And then there's a bunch of like food scraps and grass clippings in a couple of buckets there. Like I said, I need to cut my grass. That'll give me more greens. I think I have some compost waiting to come out in my house, and then I have some lovely Halloween bags of leaves. The neighbors are nice enough to share their leaves when they're done using them for Halloween decor, so lots of leaves to mix in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a little layer of leaves, especially because it's so moist in the bottom there, and I'm going to put a little layer of leaves in there, and then I'm going to scooch all this, well, some of this, I'll kind of make it in layers, some of this that's already partially decomposed laying around here out of the bin. And then I'll put a layer of the greens in, which might just come from the top at the back there. I'm not sure how much is there. And these buckets, another layer of leaves, another layer of all of this stuff, and more greens, more leaves, more part decomposed stuff. And in the end, I should have a good compost pile, but I may have to stop and cut my grass to get it finished. But I'll get it started here for you, and then I'll try and give you a shot at the end. This is human hair from cutting hair, dog fur, and dryer lint all mixed in here. grass, watermelon, apples. Pineapple. Okay, so I have all the compost materials that I had over here built up and piled up in here. I'm gonna go cut the grass now. I have a layer of leaves on top, so once I'm done cutting the grass, I'll spread the grass over top as well as grab any scraps that are in the house still, put another pile of leaves, and I'm just gonna leave this for about a week and then I'll turn it and get it moving, and hopefully I'll see this dial move up and heat up. So I can't remember what it was at. I think it was in the warm area when we started this, but now that I've stirred it all up, it's going to be cold for a bit. But give it a week, hopefully it'll start to warm up and we can give it a good stir and hopefully get hot compost started in here, which was my intention. It's just been so wet back here, I've been kind of avoiding doing any amount of anything but just kind of dump and run. But time to get back on it. So I'll have to cut the grass and finish this up. I'll show you a picture when it's filled up so you see the height of it at the end here, but otherwise that'll be the end of this video. Hopefully gave you some motivation to maybe go work on your own compost or another project you've been putting off, and maybe a little bit of insight into composting. If you want more details on hot composting, I do have a lot of videos, or any composting. I have a lot of videos about it, so I'll maybe link a playlist for you. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.